What if I told you there's a city less than an hour from Madrid that feels less like a holiday and more like you've stumbled into a massive real-life medieval film set? 3 different religions crammed onto one hilltop for centuries. This is Toledo. Is it actually worth exploring, or just a tourist trap? Let's find out.
I'm Ronnie, and my travel style can be a little intense. I like to see it all, do it all, and experience everything that a place has to offer. So if you're up for a really immersive travel experience, you're in the right place. Empires literally fought for centuries over this strategic spot. So with all that history and these views, what should you spend your time here doing? That's what this video is about.
First off, this place is old, like ridiculously old. People have been living on this exact hill for over 2,000 years, and it shows. It's a proper maze of narrow winding streets. You will get lost. It's full on, but definitely not boring. You'll see these massive old city gates as you wander around, like the main one, Puerta de Bisagra. It's actually 2 gates in one, an older Moorish inner part and a massive newer bit that Charles V stuck on the front with a big imperial eagle. It looks really grand and a proper welcome to my fortress statement. The other thing you have to get your head around is this city of 3 cultures idea. For centuries, Christians, Muslims and Jews all lived here. Sometimes getting along, sometimes not, but that whole period left its mark everywhere, especially in the buildings, and it's what makes Toledo quite unique. Let's dive into some of the sites. What should you spend your time and money on? You'll probably wash up in the Plaza de Zocodover at some point. It's the main square, always hectic. Its name comes from Arabic for market of beasts, and it's seen everything from bullfights to executions over the centuries. Now, honestly, it's mostly fast food joints and tourist shops, but it's a good central point to start exploring from. Plus it has this little arch, Arco de la Sangre. It looks really nice, and it's even cooler at sunrise as the light shines through onto the square. You can't physically miss Toledo Cathedral. It's massive. It took over 250 years to build. Inside is really ornate, gold everywhere, almost too much to take in. Don't miss the choir stalls, the high altar, and find El Transparente, this bonkers Baroque skylight feature that caused a right stir when they hacked it into the medieval roof. Even if you think you're churched out, this one is genuinely worth seeing. At the front of the cathedral, you'll find the Plaza del Ayuntamiento. It's a pretty cool space, and smack in the middle they've got this cool modern water feature, like a big shallow mirror that reflects all the buildings. Looks great in photos. Then there's the Alcázar, this huge square fortress glaring down from the highest point in the town. It's been besieged, burnt down, rebuilt, seen some serious action, especially during the Spanish Civil War. Now it houses the Army Museum. Top tip, you can get into the Alcázar through the public library, the Biblioteca de Castilla-La Mancha. It's free. You can wander into some surprisingly grand reading rooms and get fantastic city views from windows without paying an entry fee. On the top floor of the library there's a fairly basic cafeteria. The great thing is though, you're in one of the towers and you've got great views across the city from the windows. Just across from the Alcázar you'll spot another massive, severe looking building. That's the Physical Education School, built during Franco's era. It's not a tourist site, but its size and style definitely add to Toledo's imposing skyline. You're definitely going to want to spend some time wandering around the old Jewish quarter, the Judería.
Honestly, one of the best things you can do in Toledo is just wander around and get lost. As soon as you get away from the main tourist sites, it's actually quite chill. With lots of cute little streets like this one. Also lots of steps. So this is the Pozo Amargo, which translates to the bitter well, and it's home to a story of Toledo's very own Romeo and Juliet, who was a young Jewish girl who was in love with a Christian man, allegedly, and her father found out. This is where they used to meet, and he found out and murdered him.
And there's 2 key synagogues to see whilst you're here. Santa Maria la Blanca. This place messes with your head. It's a synagogue built in the 12th and 13th century by Islamic craftsmen. It looks like a mini mosque with its forest of white horseshoe arches, and it was later used as a church and then a barracks. It's a really nice space. Then we've got the Synagogue of El Tránsito, built in the 14th century by Samuel Halevi, treasurer to King Peter the Cruel. Nice name. The inside has stunning, intricate plasterwork. It's now the Sephardic Museum, giving a really good and sobering look at Jewish history in Spain. The Mosque of Cristo de la Luz, tiny, unassuming place near one of the city gates, but it's really special. It's a 1,000-year-old mosque from Moorish Toledo, remarkably preserved. Monastery of San Juan de los Reyes. Down towards the river, this big Gothic statement piece built by Ferdinand and Isabella, they originally planned to be buried here. Those chains hanging outside, taken from Christian prisoners freed from the Moors in Granada. Inside, the two-levelled covered walkway around the courtyard is the highlight. Really detailed carvings, and it's quite a peaceful spot. The Iglesia de Santo Tomé. This small church is mobbed for one reason: El Greco's massive painting, The Burial of the Count of Orgaz. It depicts a local miracle with saints appearing, and famously includes portraits of Toledo nobles.
If you're into art, you probably already know about El Greco. He's a bit of a big deal in Toledo. You can check out the El Greco Museum. It's in the Jewish Quarter, set up near where his actual house was. It's focused on his life and the paintings he did while living in the city. Worth a look if you're a fan of his dramatic, moody style.
The Iglesia de los Jesuitas. This big, bright Baroque church feels really tall and airy. The best bit? You can climb its twin bell towers for an amazing panoramic view over the city's rooftops.
131 steps, apparently. Yeah, a great view of the old town up here. Oh wow. Do you know, a very easy climb up these steps, and you get this view. This is just built over the roof, this little walkway. Can someone get me, like, an extra hand? I don't have enough hands. The church itself's a church. Like, I see a lot of churches.
The Iglesia del Salvador. This church was built over a former mosque, which itself was built over a Visigothic church.
Let me beat your shoulders in. Right, I guess I've got to squeeze myself back through this. And back up this. We're going up another tower. Big steps. Not quite the same impressive view, this one. I'm really tempted to ring this bell. Does it have a... Oh, it doesn't have a... There we go. And it's taped up the clangers. I wonder what these little holes were for. Like, because you've got these massive windows, unless they were added later at some point. You know, before that they just had these little holes for spying on people.
The Real Colegio de Doncellas Nobles. Originally a school for noble girls, founded by a cardinal in the 16th century. It's an interesting building with a nice facade and courtyard. The Church of San Romain, another great example of the Islamic influence on a Christian building, with its brick tower and horseshoe arches inside. It also houses the Museum of the Councils and Visigothic culture, full of bits and pieces from that really early period of Spanish history, before the Moors arrived. Fancy going underground? The Cuevas de Hércules. These are Roman-era water cisterns beneath the city. Legends connect them to Hercules founding Toledo. Whether you believe it or not, it's still cool to come and see the Roman engineering. Don't miss the Vista Monasterio de San Juan de los Reyes. The monastery looks great up close, but try and get a view from it from a distance.
So if you're coming to Toledo, you're going to want to get yourself one of these. It's €15. It includes access to 7 different attractions: churches, synagogues, mosques. Not the cathedral, that's separate. It's €12 for that on its own. It seems quite good value. So,
2 main historic bridges of Toledo are characters in themselves. The Puente de San Martin on the west side. This has a proper medieval fantasy look with its fortified towers. Legend says the architect realised it might collapse, so his wife sneakily burnt the plans before opening day so he wouldn't be executed. Nice wife. Great views looking up at the city from here. The Puente de Alcántara. This is on the east side. It has Roman foundations and it's been rebuilt many times. It was a strategic spot guarding the city entrance near the castle. Look for the Baroque archway, which was added later. This gives you a nice view towards the castle on the lower side. Speaking of castles, across the river looms Castillo de San Servando. This is a proper medieval fortress on a hill. It looks pretty cool. It had Knights Templar connections way back. Now it's often used as a youth hostel or conference centre, so you likely won't go inside, but it's nice to look at. Looking for somewhere to chill out? San Martin Park is a little green space near the bridge, handy for a quick sit down after tackling that side of town. Corralillo de San Miguel Park, another small park higher up on the Alcázar, offers some different city view angles.
I mentioned the big Puerta de Bisagra at the start of the video, that really grand entrance. But keep your eyes peeled for Toledo's other historic gates as you explore. They're dotted all around and really add to that fortress city feel. They're impressive reminders of how defended this place once was.
These hotel grounds at the Hacienda de Cardenal are open for a wander. Nice gardens, feels quite chill here, and there's a restaurant and a cafe if you fancy stopping for something to drink. However, for the best coffee in Toledo, head to Il Cappuccino. Getting here is easy. It takes about 30 minutes by train or 50 minutes by bus. But the hill, seriously, the old town is up a steep hill. Do not try and walk up from the station with luggage. Find the Escaleras Mecánicas. There's a big set near the bus station. Use them. Search for Escaleras Mecánicas or Escaleras Automáticos on maps to find where they are. Toledo can get busy, really busy, especially midday with school groups and tours. In the summer, temperatures can hit 40 degrees, which can be potentially brutal, I think, for sightseeing. Spring, April to May, and autumn, September to October offer nicer weather and might be slightly less busy. So Toledo, it's full on, fascinating and pretty spectacular. Loads of history, amazing buildings all jammed together, and the views around and of the city are something else. It's definitely a touristy place. You'll do a lot of walking, but it delivers a bit of a unique punch. I reckon it's well worth a visit. Hopefully this guide has given you a good head start for planning your own trip.
If you want to see more content like this, then please give this video a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It really helps. Cheers, see you soon.